Hello, BookTube. I have some mail for you today on this overcast Tuesday in Boston. But I've got my scissors at hand because this mail haul, this pile of packages is giving off wildly conflicting Spidey sense impressions. I, judging from the packing on these boxes and the Spidey sense about whether or not they were sent from individuals or publishers, I'm not sure there's a single book in this pile that comes from a publisher. So I don't know what to expect. I should reiterate here a couple of basics on this channel for those of you who might be new. One is rule number one, which is don't send me a book. Don't take it into your pretty little head when you're out at a yard sale or a library sale to say, hey, I bet Steve would like this. Steve has already read that. He's in fact already pilloried it in the Washington Post. So if you want to send me a book, if you're dead set on it, you have to go against your ironclad inclinations for surprise by running it by me ahead of time. You have to do that. If you don't, well, you're going to send me something I don't want. It's going to be a waste of your time and a waste of my time. I'll put as courteous a face on it as I can if I open it on camera, but I won't keep it. It'll go right out the back door. I have been the recipient of so many unwanted books in my life that I don't hesitate anymore. So that's one of the basics is don't send me a book unless you've cleared it with me. But let's see. We're going to need these scissors because a lot of these things are overpacked. People tend to overpack, whereas publishers often don't. It's a little ironic because I sent off a package today, or yesterday, I sent off a package in the mail that was conspicuously overpacked. But nevertheless, okay. Yes, this first one. Okay, this was cleared with me ahead of time, so maybe they all will be that. This pile can't include tech. It can't include tech. There is no tech that I need other than a USB-C iPhone. So the smallest and most primitive new iPhone that takes USB-C. Right now, every piece of tech that I have, everything I use, charges with USB-C except my iPhone, which is like an iPhone 7S or something like that. It's ridiculously old. I don't know what is the earliest and most primitive, the smallest iPhone that charges with USB-C. I haven't looked into it because I don't ever use the phone. But that's the only piece of tech, and there's no way. None of you knew that, so there's no way that there's any tech in here. This first package is Signet Regency romances, which I'm hugely fond of. I love them. These old Signet Regency romances. This one is by Catherine Coulter, Lord Harry's Folly. The painted cover there, and Catherine Coulter, of course, went on to a mainstream success. And you have that logo up there, the Signet Regency romance. That changes over time. Lord Harry's Folly. Giving me distinct Amelia Nettleship vibes, but Catherine Coulter is really good. Then we have something by Amelia Hendrickson, who I have many Signet Regency romances of her. I don't think I have this one. And this is The Dashing Miss Fairchild. He doesn't seem interested at all in her. And finally, we have by Shirley Kennedy. I'm pretty sure I have a few of hers as well. The London Belle. And you can see right away, right, that the livery has changed. The logo has changed there. Or maybe it changed in the other direction. Maybe this is the later one. And once again, you have the painted cover. They are wooing amidst ruins, and she has a book in her hand. These old painted covers, before it was just model photographs with Photoshop, often were designed to drop little hints about what the book would be like, about what would happen in the book. So, wonderful. Then we have a box. Okay, this one is light as a feather. Still hyper taped. Let's see what we have here. It's light as a feather. I find it hard to believe that this is a book, unless it's just one book. Let's see. Okay, well, I have to tear it apart because it was overpacked. But that's oh my. Okay. All right. Not to get all Zen Sunni on you, but disposing of trash hates right angles. So I break down all boxes. I break down everything into flat surfaces so that you could fit a week's worth of stuff in one little space. What have we got here? I think I know. I think I was warned about this already. Let us see. Let's see what we have. Okay, well, it's a piece of knitwear, which is always welcome. This has a custom-made card with a New Yorker cartoon. I can't remember the name, but it had a taste I rather liked. I love New Yorker cartoons. And this is indeed original knitwear from Hannah at Hannah's Books, who has knitted me a scarf. Isn't that nice? What does the note say? The pattern is Irish hiking scarf. And the yarn is from Donegal, spun by a local woman who also raised and sheared the sheep. Good Lord. Amazing. Baby, what's that? Huh? What is that? You have never seen a sheep, have you? No? You've seen alpacas, but you've never seen a sheep. All right. Well, that is lovely. That is absolutely lovely. All right. Well, we're going to move on here. I told you this was going to be a weird mail haul. Let's just keep going. Now, this next one seems like it comes from a publisher. It's almost going to seem out of place in this particular event. It does. It does come from a publisher. Oh, okay. Fantastic. Great. Let's get you out of here. Okay, so this is next year, I assume. Yes, February. This is by Adam Plunkett, and it is called Love and Need, The Life of Robert Frost's Poetry. A striking blend of biography and literary criticism. There may be no more integral poet to the American identity or more widely known among Americans than Robert Frost. Would we say that's true? Probably that's true, isn't it? That's an amazing statement right there. Yet his life and the extent of his influence are unfamiliar or misunderstood by many. In these pages, the author challenges previous biographers' interpretations of Frost's life and work, breaking away from cliches to construct an original portrait of the poet and a novel analysis of his poems. Okay, fantastic. Well, I don't get books like this very often. That's wonderful. I suppose technically this should go to my poetry guy, shouldn't it? I just sent him off a whopping big package of stuff, but I suppose that he gets that too. Let's see here. And for those of you who don't have any idea what I'm talking about, I always forget there are new people here. In addition to being a sexy influencer, I am also a book section editor. In a couple of different places. I'm the book section editor of the smallest print newspaper in northern Georgia. But I'm also one of the editors at the online journal Open Letters Review, where I am always looking to delegate whole bodies of new releases to other people, as opposed to doing everything myself. I'm always looking to do that. But it's an unpredictable process because you've got to find somebody who's good at it. Right before you do. I would love, for instance, to have a contemporary fiction maven. Someone who reviews Jack Edwards kinds of novels. That would be so fantastic to do. Because once I have a person like that and they start writing those reviews, well, then I'll get more of those books. It's a good cycle. Same thing with a few other things. Poetry was a pressing need. I didn't have anyone to write well about poetry. It's hard to write well about poetry. And a few other things. I had once upon a time last year a live theater critic. He disappeared. I haven't heard from him in a while, so I don't think he's doing that anymore. But I'd love it if someone in, well, it'd have to be a town, a fairly sizable town that has an active theater scene. I'd love it. Especially in New York. Good Lord. If there were an undergraduate student in New York who could somehow financially swing going to plays, well, I could start their career as a theater critic. But anyway, let's look at what we have here. Okay, all right. This next one is by William Boyd. I think we saw this already. I think we saw the advance copy of this. This is a December title, if I'm not mistaken. No? Yeah, December 3rd. This is Gabriel's Moon. His most exhilarating novel yet. Trekking from the vibrant streets of 60s London to the sun-soaked cobbles of Cadiz and the frosty squares of Warsaw, as a travel writer turned reluctant spy is drawn into the shadows of espionage and obsession. Okay, so that is early December. It sounds like fun, and I like this author. So there you go, a novel for December. Uh-oh. Okay, we've got a couple more packages here, and they are taped as though they were taped by civilians. Which means more unusual stuff, maybe. Let's be very careful with the scissors. The only reason, I know I always yell at you, make sure you put the scissors back where you found them. The only reason I'm not doing that is because there are a lot of packages here. So, all right, what is this next one? What have we got here? Some bookmarks. That seems to suggest this is from a publisher. Oh, and they're... Oh, okay, no. These are from publishers. Oh, you're being extra curious, aren't you, baby? What is that? Since when are you curious about books? you're not curious about books. What is that? Huh? Boy, when you were a little puppy, you would have been all over that like a mad woman. Oh, how lovely. Okay, this is McNally Publishers. Oh, how wonderful. Okay, these are reprints. So we have New York Sketches by E.B. White, the author of Charlotte's Web. Lovely little paperback here. This is going to be $18, and it's coming out in December. And then the other reprint that we have, fantastically, this has French flaps and everything, is Office Politics by Wilfred Sheed, who is unfortunately largely forgotten. That's a shame. That's wonderful. Oh, God, I haven't read... This is a comic novel. I haven't read it in, well, is it possible I haven't read it since it came out? Let's take a look and see. 1966. It could very well be. Fantastic. Ever since college, George Wren has dreamed of working at The Outsider, a prestigious weekly edited by his hero, the suave English expat Gilbert Twining. So when George sees a listing for a junior editor, he trades in his job at CBS for half the salary and a ringside seat in the unexpectedly cutthroat arena of small circulation, highbrow literary magazine. High time I reread this thing. And then we have another gift wrap package here. I will be heartbroken if these are doubles of the same thing. I'd really rather have more of these reprints since they're so nice. Oh my God. Oh my. Okay, we have a reprint of I Am Alien to Life, Selected Stories by Joanna Barnes, with an introduction by Merve Emre, again with these French flaps. So I think the E.B. White, yeah, the E.B. White does not have French flaps. The other two do. And then Constant Reader, columns by Dorothy Parker. How incredible. How absolutely incredible. This has a foreword inevitably by Sloane Crossley. But this is incredible. This is amazing. Okay, 4 reprints from McNally Editions. Great. And well-chosen ones, too. Fantastic. All right, and then we have, to finish up, we have a box. And it is conspicuously over-taped. I don't even know that I'll be able to break my way into this thing. It is... goodness gracious. I suppose we should just talk about the Red Sox. Let's see here. Goodness. Ugh. Let's keep going. I've got 3 sides. I've broken into 3 sides by now. Let's do the last one here. What is in here? Oh, wonderful. Oh, great. This is from J. Scott Phillips, who contacted me about one book. Asked me if did I want one book, which is this. The Golden Years of Science Fiction, edited by Martin Greenberg and Isaac Asimov. And I said a wholehearted yes. I very much do want this edition. This is going to have all sorts of things in it that I want. What have we got here? iRobot. We've got Robert Bloch, Lester Del Rey, John Taine, Elsbrich de Camp, The Gnarly Man, A.E. Van Vogt, Black Destroyer, C.L. Moore, Greater Than Gods, another book by Isaac Asimov, Trends, Elsbrich de Camp again, Henry Kuttner, Robert Heinlein's Lifeline, Ether Breather by Ted Sturgeon, Joseph Kalim, almost nothing by him, William Temple, Jack Williamson, another one by Heinlein, Misfit. Great. Fantastic. And when Scotty was mentioning that he wanted to send this thing, I said, well, you can't send just one book. That's what a loser does. So you must fill out the package with other books. And he said, well, doesn't that fly in the face of rule number 1? And I said, well, not if you pick wisely. If you pick books that I want. And he said, but you always say there's no chance of that. And I said, yeah. You're caught between a rock and a hard place. You have to send me that book. But if you send me stuff that I don't like, I'm going to mock you on camera. It's kind of a living nightmare, this channel. So let's see. Oh, okay. Well, to curry favor, he wrapped this in adoptable dogs. But that's not going to save you. Let's see what he chose to add on here. Because the first one I knew about. But the Asimov, big Asimov book I knew about. Big Asimov anthologies are generally okay with me. Oh, it's a lot. It's paperbacks. It's a lot of stuff in here. What have we got? All right, let's see how he chose. Okay, there's an anthology by Anthony Cheetham, Science Against Man. So we've got Brian Aldiss, Piers Anthony, James Blish, John Brunner, Harry Harrison, Michael Moorcock, Barb Shaw, Robert Silverberg. I wonder if there are any stories in here that I know. Oh, The Lost Continent by Norman Spinrag. In the Beginning by Silverberg. Hunter at His Ease by Brian Aldiss, a fantastic story. Man's Estate, I don't know. James Blish, I don't know. The Invisible Idiot by John Brunner, I don't think I know that. The Sea Wolves by Moorcock, I know. This looks like a good anthology, and it's in remarkable shape. I'm judging from that it's very old. 1970. Okay, fantastic. I wonder if we stuck with the science fiction theme. That will almost always work. Okay, we have Andre Norton. Oh, this is an ace double. Ace doubles have you read one book and then you flip it over and you've got another book. The first one here is The Last Planet by Andre Norton. A menacing robot there. This is actually an allegorical painting. These innocent, upstanding citizens are all of BookTube, and that's me lurking, waiting to join them and inflict myself on them. And then when you flip it over, you have A Man Obsessed by Alan Nourse. He's got a surgeon's mask on and a syringe. Doesn't seem like it's all that science fiction-y, but I don't know either one of these things. I'm happy to read them, and I'm also it's a little bit guilt-free to read an ace double because they don't last. I know already when I'm reading them that I might as well just read them all flat out because I'm not going to save them. They're going to fall apart. They were printed cheaply. They weren't made to be around and still being read all these years later. Then what else have we got here? John Brunner, The Space-Time Juggler. What a cover. What a cover. Oh my. All right, so this is another ace double. This is one that I have read, although I don't think I read it in an ace double. Maybe I did. Maybe I did. Do I even dare to find out when this ace double was issued? 1963. Okay, well, I may have read this in this ace double. And then you flip it over, and what have we got here? The Astronauts Must Not Land by John Brunner. So an ace double where both stories are by the same author. I don't think that was common. I think that was fairly rare. And I do not know this book. I read a lot of John Brunner. I don't know this one, The Astronauts Must Not Land. How about that cover? All right. Scotty's doing well. No ribald mockery at his expense just yet. And Okay, all right. This next one is by Roy Peterson. The Girl Next Door was young and blonde and bored with her marriage to his best friend. And to salvage his own reputation, he suggests Garb August. Which, yeah, I'm thinking, yeah, it's not exactly Nobel season. Fantastic. Okay, great. What else have we got here? He's doing really well. For blind picks, he's doing really well. Don't take it as an example. Uh, okay. Okay, this is an anthology from Lester Del Rey, who wrote an enormous amount of science fiction. It was a big hardcover collection of Lester Del Rey at the Brattle just this week. This is And Some Were Human. And this old psychedelic cover here with two brains communicating with each other. I don't think I need to look at these. I doubt very much that I will have read any of these. Oh, well, okay, Forsaking All Others I've read. But that's in a lot of anthologies. Fantastic. All right, so some Lester Del Rey. I have the best of Lester Del Rey from his own series. Well, what is this? The Year of the Quiet Sun by Wilson Tucker. What a cover. Do any of you know this? What is this? 1970. It's got blurbs from James White, Clifford Seamack, and A.E. Van Vogt. Good Lord. What did Van Vogt have to say? An H.G. Wells-type time machine takes this chilling story's antihero into a nightmare only a few years from now future, which many people will feel we have earned by our treatment of minorities. This highly entertaining, realistic novel is a Hugo contender, I feel. This author is not familiar to me. Did he win the Hugo for anything, ever? I don't think so. Okay. All right. Okay. Is this also from 1970? Did we get all of these? No, 1962. This is by Rex Gordon, and it's called First Through Time. So another time travel thing. Rex Gordon sounds familiar. I think I've actually read a novel by this guy. I think it was atrocious. The Top Secret Synchronotron took accurate photos of the future, and what they showed was disaster both for the girl who ran the machine and the world she worked for. I can only imagine. The early 1960s, so you take a time machine and you look into the future, and what do you see? A horrifying image. The most powerful military nation in the history of the world taken over by Nazis. Horrifying. So those kind of dystopias, we should consider ourselves lucky that they're so obviously not possible. But there are more books in here. Oh my. Okay, The Letters of Rudyard Kipling, Volume 1. Okay, if I remember this series correctly, it's hugely annotated. Yeah, it is. It's hugely annotated. Oh my, that is a palpable hit. I am a huge Kipling fan. And then what is this next one? The Letters of Rudyard Kipling, Volume 2, 1890 to 1899. How interesting. So, if I remember correctly, if memory serves, there were 2 other volumes in this set. I can't remember. I can't remember how many there were. I think there were 2 other volumes. But Kipling's letters are great, and he's not studied anymore. He's not read anymore. You're not allowed to read them anymore. Especially not allowed to like him. That will get you canceled off TikTok in a heartbeat. But I love him, and I especially love his letters. I have the Viking Portable Kipling that has a few letters, but now I've never invested in this set. This was from the University of Iowa Press. I've never invested in this set, and now I have it. Well, okay. On the positive side, J. Scott Phillips had not one single misstep here. The Girl Next Door I would easily have chosen for Garb August myself. And all the rest is vintage science fiction. Happy to read it. On the negative side, that means I don't get to mock him on camera. Some days, the burden of receiving free gifts from people in the mail is almost more than I can bear. All right, well, there we go. Okay, what a mail haul. So we have 2 volumes in the Letters of Rudyard Kipling. Remind me, someone in the comments, how many volumes there are in this thing. I don't remember. But I don't think I have them all, so Scotty did fail. And then we have The Golden Years of Science Fiction. Nice big anthology. Let's see here. We have Gabriel's Moon, a reluctant spy story from William Boyd. We have Love and Need, the life of Robert Frost. But since the pub sheet says that it goes out of its way to analyze the poetry, I'm thinking I should send this to my poetry guy. Then we have these editions. How incredible. These beautiful reprint editions from Mariner. Just fantastic. Wilfred Sheet and Dorothy Parker in one package. And Signet Regency romances, 3 of them. 3 that I don't think I have. Maybe I have this one. But I don't know that I have the others. And then a bunch of vintage science fiction. Perfect for Rocket Summer next summer, and The Girl Next Door for Garb August next August. So there you go. A very strange mail haul. Plus, of course, a Donegal scarf. The reason that has a little bit of heft to it, for those of you who are new to the channel, is that I spent a lot of time in Ireland and lived in Donegal for a bit. And it's extra bittersweet because I will never go back there again. I will never see it again. So this is a very nice reminder. So thank you all. Thank you to Hannah and Scotty and everybody else. Thank you all so much, and also the publishers. Thank you for them as well. But we're gonna wrap this up. I don't know if there's going to be any more mail today, and I don't know if there's going to be a mail haul tomorrow, because workers. Who've taken it into their pretty little heads now to paint the entire front of the house, including the porch and the steps, with big, huge signs saying nuclear fallout, enter at your own risk, violators will be shot, all that sort of thing. So unless delivery people are willing to go all the way around to the back of the house and drop things off, then I think they'll probably just ignore my house today and tomorrow. So we'll see. This is enough to keep me busy. So I'll wrap this up for now, and I'll be back. Thank you, BookTube.